Hello, everyone. Welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is a place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I am here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. It's Tech Day. It's time for Tech Life Weekly. This is where we do a deep dive into how to handle tech in your business and your life to make it easier for you. So, with that, we always like to get started with tech history. So, Fran, what do you have for us today?
Well, because it is also Black History Month, we're going to do look at some Black in tech history.
Okay.
So the first lady I want to talk about, her name is Gladys Mae West. She's an American mathematician. She's known for her contributions to mathematical modeling of the shape of the Earth and her work on the development of the satellite geodesy models that were later incorporated into the Global Positioning System, or GPS.
All right.
That is, we probably wouldn't be getting around.
How about that?
Yes. Wow. Yes.
It's just amazing, the input and the impact that we've had on tech and just the development of different things around the world.
All right. So I'm going to be flipping back and forth here.
Thank you, Gladys.
Thank you, Gladys. So the first telephone book was published in February 21st, 1878. It was issued in New Haven, Connecticut by the New Haven Telephone Company. It lists 21 names, and you probably got at least twice that many names in your cell phone today. But
at least.
1878, the first telephone book. Now, this next story is interesting because it says the first burglar alarm that was installed February 21st, 1858. The first electrical burglar alarm is installed by an inventor named Edwin T. Holmes in Boston, Massachusetts. It was a simple system that rang a bell or if a door or window was opened. Now, let's talk about Marion Van Britten Brown, which I believe you mentioned last week. Mm-hmm. Yes, she was an American nurse. Her husband, Albert Brown, was an electronics technician. And in 1966, they invented an audio-visual home security system. Like your Ring doorbell?
Yes. Okay. Where you could actually see the person at the door?
Where you could see what was happening. The same year they applied for a patent for that security system. She was born in 1922 and she invented the first home security system. And that's why I wanted to mention this. I'm going to open up this story.
I think she also invented that the technology that eventually went into the button that people can press. You remember that commercial, I've fallen and I can't get up?
Yes.
The woman would press the button.
Yes. And she was So let me go through here. Let's see. She was the first person to develop a prototype for closed circuit television security, launching CCTV, and her patent paved the way for the modern security systems that operate today. She was a former nurse and was inspired by the amount of time it took for police to reach her neighborhood.
Okay.
Which at that time had a high crime rate and the worries she faced when she worked nights and early mornings. After much research and experimentation with cameras, she used a radio-controlled wireless system that could stream video to any television in the house.
Uh-oh. Girlfriend was streaming. Go ahead.
Then Britten Brown and her electrician husband created a two-way microphone facilitating communication between the people inside the house and the person at the door. That is a Ring doorbell.
That's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I wonder if she's getting residuals from that.
I don't know, because
And
they had to improve upon her technology. You know what I
well,
mean? To
yeah,
yeah,
but every time I think about closed circuit television, what comes to my mind is Britain. How much would they have closed circuit everywhere? Uh,
yes, yeah. You can look. There's a channel that you can watch and just watch the cameras all over in Britain, just,
mhm.
where you can just watch people all day long. If people watching is your thing.
Wow.
She also invented a system that to unlock doors remotely in a system that contacted police and ambulance services with one button. Her work was a foundation for video monitoring, instant messaging, text, okay, and two-way voice communication. She was recognized in the New York Times, received an award from the National Scientist Committee, and had a daughter whom herself went on to become an inventor.
Wow. I can just imagine, okay, for the first time now we can monitor patients from a desk. We can see into their rooms, you know, from her nursing aspect, as well as, the security for herself and her neighborhood.
Mhm.
Wow, that's big stuff.
Right. Now I'm going to talk about Dr. Frank S. Green Jr., considered one of the first Black technologists. He was born in 1938 in Washington, and he developed a high-speed semiconductor computer memory systems in the 1960s, performing as a member of the team that won the patent for the fastest chip at the time, and founded two software companies. Green was one of the first Black students to attend his university, and his extensive engineering studies culminated in a PhD at Santa Clara University, where he was later elected as the first African American trustee. He was part of the civil rights movement and later went on to utilize his own success to create a venture capital firm entirely dedicated to helping women and people of ethnic minority backgrounds to start their own businesses. An enthusiastic philanthropist, he shared his knowledge by teaching at Stanford, Howard, and Santa Clara universities, and founded and led over a dozen education and community initiatives to help those most in need. He was a recipient of numerous academic accolades and was inducted into the Silicon Valley Hall of Fame in 2001.
Wow. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
So,
I, I
okay. Oh, I just heard a little ringing or something, and
yes.
that's on me because that's my thing.
No, that's me.
Um, Okay, so born in 1955, we're going to talk about Dr. Marion Rogers Croak. She invented voice over internet protocol, which enables the use of the internet for voice communications, and which technology has been used to power Zoom and Skype. Rogers Croak's PhD in social psychology and quantitative analysis helped her successfully incorporate human thinking and behavior into technology, processes, and communications. She pioneered the use of phone network services to make charity donations by phone faster and easier, and filed the patent for text-based charity donations in 2005. So the text to give system,
Wow.
during yeah,
Wow.
it,
That's deep.
it really is. During her time as senior vice president of research and development at AT&T, she managed 2,000 engineers in leading domain 2.0 architecture an initiative transforming AT&T's network and infrastructure into a system resembling cloud computing services. She is the current vice president of engineering at Google, where she has so far led Google's service expansion into emerging markets, including managing the team developing the project technology, which uses balloons to extend coverage, and deploying Wi-Fi across India's rail system.
Wow.
She has
I'm scared of her. Okay, go ahead.
She has over 200 patents in her name, was included into the Women in Technology Hall of Fame in 2013, and in 2021 is one of the first Black women to be inducted into the National Engineers Hall of Fame.
Wow. I love it. I love the things we don't know.
Right.
Wow. That
So, we will talk some more about Blacks in tech history as the month progresses, but that's your week in tech history for right now.
wow. I between security and text to give and instant messaging. I mean, wow, we have, what do they say, necessity is the mother of invention. Oh my gosh. The things that have come out of this community as a result of necessity. And sometimes we think that, the things that we're going through are not leading us anywhere, when in fact, they're leading us to solve that problem. My hat goes off to these folks, especially the ladies, because I know it was extra special for them. And we have done everything from what, GPS to telecommunications and security in hospitals, on streets, for government railways. Wow.
Okay, and so
This is a big
let
deal.
me throw this in here because
Mhm.
I'm looking at two sources. February 20th, 1962, John Glenn becomes the first American to orbit the Earth, riding aboard Friendship 7. Glenn orbits the Earth 3 times in 4 hours, 55 minutes, and NASA accomplishes a landmark using an IBM 7030 Stretch computer. However, it wasn't just a Stretch computer.
Mm-mm.
It was Catherine
Catherine.
Johnson
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that actually got him back safely,
Exactly.
because he didn't trust the computer's numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think sometimes history is in the perspective of,
History is in the hands of the writer too.
that's what I mean, whoever's reporting it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
asked John Glenn if he's like, oh, it wasn't that computer. It was the other computer.
Correct.
Catherine
Correct.
Johnson.
Those hidden figures, and Katherine Johnson having the confidence that she can
And
make it happen, because she
and
would have been held accountable if he hadn't gotten back.
oh yeah, they was gonna throw her under the bus or what?
Under the bus. We
Right.
had it down through the computer, but Boo Boo didn't trust our computer. He wanted her. Okay.
Well, he got back home, and then that Friendship 7 was one of Catherine's friends. What is her name? Oh, Mary. Mary Jackson. She was NASA's first ever Black female engineer. After graduating with dual degrees in math and physical science, she joined NASA as a mathematician. She was promoted to an engineer after simultaneously gaining experience working with a 60,000 horsepower supersonic pressure wind tunnel during the day and taking classes. She was passionate But she worked on that 7 that
Mm-hmm.
when they tested that space thing, that space, the Friendship 7, in that horsepower, that thing she was working on.
Amazing. Just amazing. See, you never know who you're talking to.
Not at all.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? I also focused on, trailblazers in um, the African American community, as because this is Black History Month. And so I put together a short video that I want to share with you guys. It's just 1 or 2 minutes, and then we'll talk about it. But my emphasis, Fran, is on medicine, like it was last week.
Okay.
So let's take a look at this.
Hey everyone! Today we're diving into some truly inspiring stories of African American medical pioneers. When we think of groundbreaking medical achievements, it's essential to recognize the lasting impact African Americans have made in shaping the field of medicine, often overcoming incredible barriers to do so. Let's start with Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. Back in 1893, Dr. Williams performed one of the world's first successful open-heart surgeries. At a time when African American doctors faced heavy discrimination, he also founded Provident Hospital in Chicago, the first Black-owned hospital in the United States. Imagine that. Next up is Henrietta Lacks. In 1951, Henrietta unknowingly changed medical research forever. Her cells, known as HeLa cells, became the first immortal human cells ever grown in a lab. These cells have been crucial in developing vaccines, cancer treatments, and even mapping the human genome. Talk about an incredible legacy. In 1981, Dr. Alexa Kennedy broke barriers as the first African American female neurosurgeon in the United States. Her dedication to pediatric neurosurgery saved countless young lives and inspired a new generation of Black physicians, truly a trailblazer. Today, African American doctors, researchers, and healthcare workers continue to lead in medical innovation, public health advocacy, and patient care. From tackling health disparities to advancing cutting-edge research, their work carries forward a legacy of resilience and excellence. These stories are just a glimpse into the countless contributions African Americans have made and continue to make in the field of medicine. Their legacy is not just history, it's the foundation for a healthier future for us all. So remember, celebrate, educate, and inspire. Thanks for watching.
Mr. Grimes, how can I help you?
You know what? I want to talk a little bit about Dr. Kennedy, because she went to the University of Michigan Medical School. She was born in 1950, and she became the first surgeon to do pediatric surgery as an African American woman. You know, this is a major thing for me because I have a grandchild who had to have several different procedures, and to know that there is someone there working to increase his positive outcomes makes me so happy. Dr. Bloom, it says her lab was in genetics, and she attended she attended a genetic counseling clinic. She says, I fell in love with medicine. In her work as a neurosurgeon, she saw young patients facing life-threatening illnesses, gunshot wounds, head trauma, and other brain injuries and diseases. Throughout her 20-year career in pediatric neurosurgery, Dr. Kennedy has helped thousands of patients, most of them 10 years or younger. Her, her career began, she almost dropped out of college while a mathematics major. She said because she had a crisis of confidence. She said when she heard of a chance to win a minority scholarship in medicine, it was an instant connection. For some reason, she was just destined to go into medicine. So I just, my hat is just off to her, because as a young Black woman completing a surgical internship at Yale New Haven Hospital in 1975, On her first day of residency, she was tending to a patient when one of the hospital's top administrators passed through the ward. As he went by, he heard her say, "Oh, you must be our new equal opportunity package." Just a, just a few years later, while working as a neurosurgeon at Children's Hospital in Philadelphia, her fellow physicians voted her one of the top residents. So she was the chief of neurosurgery at Children's Hospital in Michigan from 1987 until her retirement in 2001. I,
Wow.
you know, she's, when asked what was her biggest obstacle, she said, convincing neurosurgery chairmen that I was not a risk to drop out
Mhm.
or be fired.
Mhm.
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 And
Mhm.
so a, a disaster in a program where there are only one or two residents per year. So, just getting chosen.
Mhm.
She says, I was the first African American woman in the department. Along with that, my other greatest obstacle was convincing myself that someone would give me a chance to work as a neurosurgeon. I think this is why we have missed a lot of major contributions, because people looked at the opportunities and said, there's not enough opportunities. They probably won't pick me. I'm going to choose something else.
Yeah,
Right.
they give up on themselves
Mhm.
before
Exactly.
they even before
Yeah.
they get started.
They
Exactly.
taking themselves out of the race before it even started because it's like, oh, I don't, I'm not going to win. You don't know who's going to win, and you see that with horse racing, with any kind of thing. Even we can look at the Super Bowl. Everybody was like, okay, the Chiefs are going to win, but it didn't come out. Let me. Got my phone.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of times we talk ourselves out of something,
Yes, exactly.
especially if there's no one else in the field.
Yes, we don't see anybody that looks like us. We don't think there's anybody there to even give us an opportunity. A lot of times we talk ourselves out of it because we don't believe that, even though we see somebody like us, that they're not really willing to risk their reputation on someone else.
Right. And but the part about you going forward, even if you're the first one through the door, go, right? Because you don't know how many other people are going to come behind you because you went through the door first,
See
right?
that? I hate to interrupt. Well, I had to because that was the door. But
Mhm.
I saw this week on CBS this morning. I don't watch it. I watch the clips on YouTube. They had an interview with one of the North Carolina uh at the Woolworths counter. It was four
Yes,
teenagers. Did you
from the
see it,
sit-in.
Carolina?
Yeah, from the sit-in. Yeah.
Yeah, from the sit-in, and it was. I don't know about the other three, but they talked to one. He's a retired general, and they were talking about how when they did it, they were just students, and they didn't
That's
want
all
the
we are.
adults.
Just
They didn't
students.
want the adults involved. He said it was very scary, but like by the third day, more students had joined, like so many had joined that they felt safer. But to come to see his life, that he joined the Air Force, he joined he rose to the ranks of general, and it was just like it's very inspiring because they were asking the questions. And he was saying like, you never know where you are as a kid and
And
doing one thing that changes your life and it changes the trajectory. And he has influenced so many people because he was like the first. There was a couple of firsts for him as an
you
African
better
American.
know it.
Hmm?
I said, you better know there were several
But
firsts
he
for
was,
him. Yeah.
he had several firsts. But the
Yeah.
thing is, you look at it as one of the four young men sitting at the lunch counter, and he emphasized. He said they knew that they had to do it nonviolent. So they had to train. You had to go through training before
You
the other
did.
students could join, and they did things, just got in their face and spit and all that. But
Yes.
they had to all think about all the things that they had to go through in order for all of us to get here. That ties in to like the doctor you were talking about, and the thing they had to go through.
And the whole, self-talk too. So, and then the whole thing with Henrietta Lacks, she didn't even know that she was going to be the the provider of excuse me, research cells for every research hospital in the United States. They took her cells and then they propagated her cells and they used them to do tests for cancer and different diseases. Eventually, her family, the reason I found out about it, because her family was eventually compensated and there was a big news spread about it. And
Yeah,
that
I
was
read the book that
that was
the
yeah,
scientists
2000 or
wrote
so.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because they didn't know that they were her cells, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Nobody knew. And then the thing is at the time, not to give them any kind of leeway or whatever, but the hospital at the time, no one knew that the cells were going to live till what was it 1950 something, and now no one knew her cells was going to live that long because no cells had lived that long before. So they were going in, the reasons why, but this is an actual miracle of these cells living. They were supposed to die because that's what when they take the cells and they do the test, they die. All of them before, but this chain lived, and then it started other chains, and it's global. Like every kind of medical research or anything to do with cell research all goes back to Henrietta Lacks.
Says what is it? The Hella cell line,
Yeah.
the first immortalized human cell line, and one of the most important cell lines in medical research.
Yeah, because the cells were supposed to die. They didn't die. And they didn't do anything to the cells. They just did not die.
And
they
so
did not die.
But she just did her work, and her work is changing the world.
Yes, that's why I said this is an out and out miracle. Because one, cells are supposed to die. They supposed to take the cells and do the test, they die. These cells did not. And that was the miracle part of it. And it just kept growing and growing. But on the other side of it, getting to now, it's like no one knew the history of where did these cells come from. They were just doing experiments on these human cells.
Exactly.
And then this, I forgot I think she was a science reporter or something, reported that she went and investigated and talked to the family and went to, is it the Mayo Clinic? I want to say Mayo, or is it
Mayo Clinic? Let's see.
John Hopkins Mayo, one of those big research hospital libraries, medical research. She went to them and found the trail of, because nobody knew where these cells came from because it had been so long, and they didn't really care back then. I'm not sure. One of those.
But the fact is, she made history. And
made history. A woman that she went in. They found cancer. They did. They took the biopsy and the routine stuff. And then the cells lived, and nobody thought, oh, they were just like, it's amazing. And day one, day two, they just kept living, which had never been done before. So that's the part of it. Like, what was it, 1950 in the 50s? And here we are, 2025. Those cells are still kicking.
1951.
1951. The cells replicate, and they never died.
And the book, or was the movie The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks?
Right. The movie, Oprah did the movie, Oprah then the movie, but the movie came from the book. Book is very interesting. It's very wow. The book is very, but it's very scientific.
So that's what I have today, and I hope that Kennedy, the pediatric surgeon, Black female pediatric surgeon, will inspire you, as well as the fact that we are major researchers and contributors to research, i.e. Henrietta Lacks and Daniel Hale Williams with his open heart surgery.
There's so many names that have gotten lost.
But that's why we are
That's why we're
bringing them to
talking about
light in our Tech Life Weekly.
Right. And they get discovered, unfortunately, once 1 month a year. That's when they get discovered. Ooh, it really should be. It really is it is really American history. I saw somebody on TV said that. So it's not Black history, it's American
It's
history.
American history.
It is really American history.
So,
And I was talking to Terry about this not too long ago today. It's in the eye of the reporter.
yeah, media is that's the focus of media. They decide what stories are told. But the good thing about the rise of the internet and the rise of social media is that there are independent media platforms. Some of them are culturally based, like Roland Martin is one. That he has it is Black focused, and he's proud to say that it's stories that the media, Black focused stories that the media will not report on, he reports on them. So some people have a problem with that. Well, okay, they had a problem with BET when it first got started. Why do you need Black entertainment television? Well,
yeah, because y'all ain't putting none on. So
why do you care?
So, anywho, this is really good, and we should talk about American history from our perspective more often.
Oh yeah, and we should talk about it with young children, young kids, and we can't assume that they have a phone and they know everything, because I think I said on Tuesday there's so much information. And that's part of the problem. There's so much information. Whereas when I was a kid, there was only 3 channels and you didn't get bombarded with stuff. Yeah, it was just 3 channels and it went off like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with no programming.
Right. No. And we wasn't paying attention if it wasn't a cartoon anyway.
Exactly.
And we were probably in bed by then too.
Okay, well, I was curious. I always said that I was one of the kids that was curious. So I did a couple of things that was like, my family was like, who did that? And I was like, oh no, not me.
Mark has a comment.
Mark, yeah, he says at this point we are returning to these important historical figures being shared in stories while it disappears somewhere else.
Right. See, this is the good thing about history. It lives on regardless of who showcases it. We don't need these people to showcase it for us. It's there. It's there to be discovered. It's just like I read this week that in Egypt, they discovered another Pharaoh's tomb.
Correct.
What has it been? 3,000 years? 5,000 years?
It's been a minute.
They found a new one. A new tomb hasn't been discovered in 100 years.
I wonder what's in his library, because they had libraries and I wonder if he ever had any surgery, because they were doing dentistry and brain surgery and, well before.
Okay, but we can't go up in there doing autopsies, going in there. Let's see what happened. You know what I mean?
But we do have X-rays, and we do have different
MRI.
things that we didn't have before. Yeah,
MRI. They could do MRIs or something.
Yeah, they can. We can use 2025 technology to examine something that's 3,000 years old.
Yes,
Mark said that is the hope for my podcast. It'll finally be discovered in a couple of thousand years.
It's gonna be discovered before that.
Yes, and I have something I'm gonna send to you, Mark, that might help your discoverability.
Oh, Mark. While we'll talk real quick, you're on YouTube, I know, but make sure that you put the podcast tab. I didn't go and check. You have to put the podcast tab on your YouTube channel.
In the description, like hashtag.
No, there's actual podcast tab that you have.
Oh, that's right. But in the podcast part,
and it goes to YouTube Music. Otherwise, it doesn't go over to YouTube Music as a podcast. It won't go. YouTube doesn't automatically put it over there. There's some settings you have to go through. I was looking at that this week. Another reason why I'm loving YouTube. So
because there is YouTube podcast. But what you're saying is you won't be identified as a podcast over there unless you put it over there.
Right. You have to mark it as a podcast, and then YouTube puts it on YouTube Music, which is separate from regular YouTube.
Got it.
Okay.
You would think they would
But
roll it
this
all
and
together.
and I had to go finish watching the gentleman's video. I forgot who it was. When I find it, I will share it. But he was saying that, oh, you want to market your podcast as a podcast on YouTube, and it goes over to YouTube Music. Otherwise, it doesn't. And then you go on your channel. So, but you make sure there's a podcast tab, like it says podcast. There's some settings that you have to do. Okay.
Interesting.
I'm just
Okay.
saying, make sure that it says on your channel, the tabs where it says, it used to say community, now it says posts and video and live and shorts. Is one that should say podcast.
All righty.
Okay.
Well,
But
we're
I'm
going to
just
put
saying
you.
it's there.
We're going to put you in the seat of authority. We have it.
Okay. TJ,
All right.
is all yours.
Okay, so Mark says he has. Okay, good. So then you're discoverable on YouTube Music.
And I got something for you, Mark. I'll send that video over to you. Hopefully, it'll help you with your virality. Okay.
Okay. You want me to start?
Yeah. Do we need to buckle up? Or are we good?
No, we good. This a light week for some reason.
And some weeks.
But there is something that I mean, okay, I saw this being discussed this week, and I, again, put it to the side, and now I'm like, oh, we got to talk about that. All right, so no Snapchat news. Okay, sorry. This week in social media news and updates. No Snapchat news, but I'm going to talk about a new AI that you may not have heard of.
Uh-oh.
It's called Mistral, Mistral, Lichat. That should give you a clue. Lichat. Is
it like from France?
Yes.
Okay.
So Lichat, they just released it's been out for it's been out a couple of weeks. The Mistral's 8. I don't know if it's Mistral or Mistral. I'm gonna say Mistral.
Okay, never mind.
I'm gonna say Mistral. I'm gonna say Mistral. AI assistant Lichat. So Lichat has a mobile app now, and it was 1 million downloads in 14 days. So Lichat went to the top spot for free downloads on the iOS App Store in France. So now, if you don't know, the French are very proud of being French. So their president, Macron, went to TV and said, go and download Lichat, which is made by Mistral, rather than ChatGPT by OpenAI or something else. They're very proud of this. So they had a AI Action Summit in Paris this week. But Mistral, so if you're looking at, I want to do AI that's not China, I don't want any of the American apps, we'll look at Lichat. So they've had 1 million downloads in 14 days, which is one of those things where, it's coming out like DeepSeek came out and it went viral. So just Lichat.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, so this one you might want to look at because, it's France. France is our BFF.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to look at the privacy.
17, yeah, but investigate it. But, France is our BFF since 1780 something or beyond or before. I'm not sure the exact date, but that's our BFF. France, that's our buddy. So if you're not into the red note, which I have not heard any news about, or the DeepSeek, which I have heard a lot of news about, which I have neither, and I won't be having these. I might look at this one because it's our BFF. But again, like Fran says, you got to check out.
I'm going into the weeds over here and find out what they
going into the weeds and see what what they said. Because when we talked about DeepSeek, Fran saw that what was it that they have all
your data over in the People's Republic of China.
Yeah. So the CCP has your data. But again, like I said, it seems that Gen Z and these guys don't care. They don't care. Don't care.
Mhm.
Okay, but that's another. So, but that's just a little tidbit I threw out there. Since there's no Snapchat news. Now, speaking of AI, let me talk about OpenAI. OpenAI is now doing 400 million users every week. They told CNBC that they have 400 million weekly active users. I would love to see the daily active user number, but again, OpenAI doesn't have to report that because they are not public. They're not publicly traded. So they're saying, so this is what ChatGPT is letting us know. So they had 300 million users in December 2024. So they've grown from the 300 to 400 now in February. So OpenAI has not revealed the number of paid customers with an active subscription to ChatGPT Plus or ChatGPT Pro. Now, on their B2B side, which is their enterprise plans, they say they have 2 million paying enterprise users. And this number has doubled since September 2024. So OpenAI is doing pretty well. Now, speaking of that, OpenAI has a new trademark application. Now, normally that would not be social media news. It's just interesting. But they have found a new application trademark to trademark products associated with OpenAI. So what is here? So they're listing hardware, headphones, goggles, glasses, remotes, laptop and phone cases, smartwatch, smart jewelry, and virtual and augmented reality headsets for AI-assisted interaction, stimulation, and training. The trademark application also mentions robots, specifically user programmable humanoid robots and humanoid robots having communication and learning functions for assisting and entertaining people. This is OpenAI. This is their new trademark application. They want to make products. Now, why is this important? Is because I think I said, I don't remember when I said it. I said AI was going to be the thing, like clean, like you're not going to go, oh, that's OpenAI. You're just going to do things just like electricity, just like running water, just like the mail, just like the it's going to be all of that to where, and I was using this analogy with somebody. I was like, well, electricity, do we ever think about it?
No, we just flip a light.
You just flip a light, or you say, hey, turn on the light. When it's not there is the issue. Same thing with running water. And I know this firsthand because our building is very old, like over 100. It's very old. And something always happens with the pipes and and then they give us warning, like, okay, we're going to shut the water off because and then you can prepare. But sometimes there's an emergency, and you go to the tap, or you go to the sink, and there's no, and you miss it. Otherwise, I'm not thinking about the water because it's there. It's just there. I walk over and there's the water. I want light. I can say to the air, I want light. This is where we're going with AI.
And this is where we are. And I think the reason why they're doing the products is because Meta's Ray-Ban glasses, okay, they are doing some stuff. You can actually talk to the glasses, and it talks back to you, telling you what stuff is happening. And it is actually like talking to a person.
Yes. See, we're the wearables. I always said, another thing I always said about wearables was going to be a thing. And I didn't know how. The missing piece was AI.
And that was the missing piece, because it connects up to your phone. It connects up. It connects up to your phone. It connects up to all of your stuff. And I'm looking at now. They got the commercials out with the AI talking and doing different things. You can. Google missed it.
Yes, I said that from day one. I felt that Google missed. Google should have been what OpenAI is now. Google should have been that, but I don't know what they're doing. They fell asleep at the wheel. Something happened, and they tried to catch up, but they can't. They can't.
And they had the eyewear. before
They had all
everybody
of it, and
else.
it was people were making fun of the Google glasses. Oh, you know, they were making fun of people that had it, but
now everybody else is trying to do it. Meta did it, and I was like, oh snap, Meta, and they did it well. And now everybody's trying to catch up with Meta, and some people are trying to do the big headsets, but there are more people trying to do this, then everybody's trying to do this lightweight, where you can talk and get it is seriously like hands-free, and you're talking to your assistant. Tell me what that is. And what is that? And answering questions, and how far does that? I was like, wow, I got to get used to it.
So there's more with this trademark filing. OpenAI is going to make custom AI chips and services for leveraging quantum computing resources to optimize AI model performance. Now, I talked about quantum computing. This is the thing to come. Quantum computing. And I've seen a couple articles. There's a couple I got to go back. I got some quantum computing for dummies books that I got to read. It has to do with power sourcing and chips and processors. That the speed of it. And I think there was a article that came out a few weeks ago that somewhere in China they made this battery that lasted like 50 years or something because of the chip and the but that's where we're going to, where things are going to expand but be smaller, if that makes sense. More powerful.
Yeah. And like with a phone, more powerful, smaller.
Right. And that's going to be because of quantum computing, because the processing of it is a different structure. It's framework and infrastructure that the way the chips are made now is going to be different, because we're running into this issue, especially with AI, of power sources, needing water, using up natural resources. So quantum computing is going to be Here's an example I just came to me. Because when I was in school and I was learning programming, computers used to take up a whole room, like servers. It was just wall to wall. You've seen the old movies. And the Hidden Figures had one with the data punch card. And not that I had that. I'm just remembering being in computer lab at we call it a dummy terminal, because it was just a screen. It wasn't a computer like we have now. It was a dummy terminal. You had to sit at the terminal, and all the computers were in this big room. And they were huge. Now we don't do that anymore because we have little servers. That was because the way everything, and there's a law for it, I cannot remember the name of it, as everything gets faster, everything gets smaller. So we're going to go into that. But OpenAI is looking down the road. What you have to do, that's what I'm saying, this is a company that you want to look at. You have to look at down the road. Like, okay, right now, what are the problems with running AI models and robots and stuff? Well, there's the processing speed, there's the resources. So how do we fix that? There's something to come. So let's invest into something to come down the road. So OpenAI is looking at the hockey puck, where it's going. It's not looking at where it is in front of them now. I think Wayne Gretzky said that you got to look where the puck is going. Like that means look at the future. Focus on where it might go. That's the plot, the plan that you want to have. So OpenAI is doing that with this trademark filing. So they're going to create custom chips and run the AI model. They have a division focused on co-designing chip components. And they want to bring a custom chip to market as early as 2026. Now, who did this? Now, Apple did this. Remember, Apple used to use Intel chips and that. What did Apple do? They made their own chip.
They made their own chip.
But why?
More control over what they needed to do, and
design what they need specifically. They don't need a third party or a partner of Intel. They don't have to depend on Intel. Intel doesn't set the price. Intel
and they're
Intel
not
decided the chip price, which affected that price of Apple products.
exactly. And even if they didn't do the price, they are not subject to somebody else's mishaps.
Right.
If somebody else make a mistake or whatever, they're not having to. Okay, if we created ourselves and do our own testing, we are responsible for whatever.
It is our chip.
Mm-hmm.
It is ours. And it made sense because Apple has the money, the cash for it. So it was like, okay, it's a no-brainer. And you have more control.
That's the word.
Yes, you have more control. And that's like when car manufacturers, the parts got to come from China, or the parts got to go here or that or that. So the maker of the car is like, we're depending on this, and we're the supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
When it's you making all the components, where's the issue? Internal. That's easy to fix versus, well, we need a part from China. We needed this or we needed that. Remember the supply chain issues?
Yes.
Remember all those ships?
Yeah.
And remember when there was a shortage and you couldn't get your car fixed?
Yes.
Because they didn't have chips?
Yep. If you have your own chips,
yes.
Yeah, because if the car manufacturers had their own chips, there wouldn't have been that issue.
Right.
And I think this is why we are building plants in the U.S. Because Taiwan is pretty tentative, and they are a major manufacturer.
It's teetering. It's teetering, and it's like, okay, what do we do? Also, a lot of minerals we get from China and India and other places that in South Africa and Africa, that is teetering, and we're like, well, you need a lithium battery. Well, you need lithium. You need this. Well, where's the lithium coming from? All of these things, these are issues that a forward-thinking company will think about because it's about the bottom line.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
These OpenAI is not a charity. Meta is not a charity. They have shareholders who I invest my money in you. I want a return. So it's not about the end user. It's about, well, is the shareholder happy? That's just how it's been. I didn't make the rules. The market has been the market for ever. So,
and that is probably why they moved from nonprofit to publicly traded, because otherwise they wouldn't have had an infusion of cash from Apple and some other people.
But see, here's the just off track just a minute, because there's the argument of ethical and, oh, you're the good guy. It's the business. There is no good guy. There is just, in politics, there's no good guy. It's the perception of good or this or that. So you have to look at these things in a realistic light. It's not, I don't like it, but I gotta work with, I don't like shaking the train, but if I want to go downtown, I got to get on the train. It's the fastest, cheaper way. Because now we got, congestion prices, all this stuff that's going on. Traffic in Manhattan, you do not want to drive. I'm sorry. I just, honestly, you don't, because people are, oh, you don't have a car. What do I need a car for? I got to figure out where to park it. I got to do this. I got to do that. I can hop on the train and be downtown in 20 minutes. Downtown, like miles on the train, 15, 20 minutes. So I'm just saying that's just one of the issues that you have to look at. So OpenAI is looking down the road and saying, hey, let's file these things, because it's not going to be, oh, OpenAI. It's going to be the device. And Apple realized that also, because they have Apple Intelligence, artificial intelligence, Apple Intelligence. I forgot what it's called. And
Apple
you're not right. But see, it doesn't matter what it's called. It's going to be electricity. Do you call electricity? Electricity. Do you call water? Water. No, you go over to the device. Or you say to the air, give me light, give me water. You don't think about, well, where does water come from? Like, where does New York water come from? I think it comes from upstate, and it's pipes and aqueducts and this and Croydon. I'm like, what? I just want to walk over there and get my water. That's where we're going with AI. AI is going to be that thing like electricity. I think I said that before. And here we are. We're inching towards that. There's so many models. There's so many this, deep seek, this, and the chat, and this and that, and where it comes from. It's not going to matter. It's going to be water. It's going to be electricity. It's going to be air. Think about air. We need it to survive. But am I thinking about air right now? No.
It'll be a commodity.
Thank you. And I've talked about that too before. It's going to be a commodity. You're not the average person. And right now, there's a lot of people that don't know about AI, nor do they care. I think I read that there was an article or one of the news shows was saying that a lot of people don't even know what this is. But they know that if I want to plan a trip, or if I want to have something delivered, or if I want my refrigerator to do this and that, or my stove or my appliance, it's going to be to where it saves the human time. Because that's what we care about. Saving time to do the things that we want to do. And if AI can do that, we're all for it. I don't care what you call it. I don't care where it comes from. I just want it. See, I want water. I don't care where it comes from. I'm thirsty. It's dark. I need illumination. I don't care where it comes from. That's where AI is going. So this is this OpenAI filing the trademark for the devices because they're realizing they are the power source and they need items to deliver that power source. So we're going to be wearables. They're looking at robots. They're looking at chips. They're looking at all of the moving parts. So this is what's fascinating about this story. So I was like, okay, what's the big deal? They filed the trademark, but look at all the things that they want to make. Those are the things to come. So just get ready. Okay. All right. So let's move on to Meta. All right. So Instagram is testing a new button that will let you downvote comments. You know how on Facebook, is it Facebook that has the thumb? Who has the thumbs down? I know YouTube does. Does Facebook have one? I haven't been on Facebook in a minute.
I have not either, but I definitely
I cannot.
I know YouTube has the thumbs down. Well, Instagram is testing that. They're calling it downrank comments. So they're testing a button that gives people a private way to signal that they don't feel good about that particular comment.
Oh, okay. I like
the fact they have the like.
Facebook has the dislike.
They have the like, but they on the what are those things?
Icons,
emoji things.
Emoji. See, that just tells you like I don't go to Facebook because I'm just like, see, I'm going there. Here's something.
Okay, so they have the like. You can like it, or you can do the emojis, and one of the not emojis reactions.
Oh yeah, it's angry.
Yeah, so I think that's what you have to do. Okay.
Yeah, so see now I need to go to Facebook more because again I curated my feed. So the first post that popped up for me is from Barb Tomlin, and she's talking about the community notes that's coming out on Meta. So I'm going to want to read that. But they're going to have this on the comments that you're going to be able to downvote. It gives people a private way to signal that they don't feel good about a particular comment. This comes from Instagram CEO. He put a post on Threads. It's a downward facing arrow next to the like buttons and comments. So if you see the button and you press this down arrow, people won't know that you did it. So there won't be a dislike count shown. And this is how YouTube does it. YouTube has the thumbs down, but they don't show you any. You don't see any. It used to see numbers. You don't see them anymore. So they took that, the dislike count. They took that away. So here's the quote. Eventually, we may integrate this signal into comments ranking to move dislike comments down lower. Our hope is this might help make comments more friendly on Instagram. So it's kind of like reputation management where they want the positive comments, excuse me, the positive comments on top.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if more people downvote this comment, it's not going to be on the top, because right now the comments are like whatever's the most liked, like the number of likes that stays on top, and then you have to scroll, which a lot of people aren't scrolling. I scroll because I'm just curious to see what people are saying. But the one that gets the most likes or hearts on Instagram, the comments, they're staying at the top.
Okay.
And that could be a good, positive, or negative.
Mm-hmm.
See? So Instagram is going, well, if it's negative, we want that puppy to go down. So that's how they're going to do that. So here's another part of the quote. We're working on ways to help people better control their Instagram experience and what they're seeing on the app. Excuse me. We're testing a new button next to each comment on a reel or feed post for people to privately signal they don't feel good about that particular comment or find it relevant. With a small group of people to start. Later, we may also test moving these comments that are downvoted lower down in the comment section to help create a better experience. Now, why is Instagram focusing on that?
I don't know.
Here's the thing about better experience, because they kept saying feel better experience. What's going on, especially with Gen Z?
Oh.
Gen Z is not using as much, or they're deleting because they don't feel good. There's a lot of that. The majority is still using it. And I saw something, I can't remember, I think it was yesterday, a video or something, somebody talking about this very same thing, that, oh, social media is just so horrible now, I'm just going to opt out and not going to use it, I'm going to delete it. Well, that's not good news for Meta. If you're not using it, if you're deleting the app and you're not coming back, Meta doesn't want that. They want you to stay on and feel good about it. So that's why they kept saying, create a better experience. Feel better, feel good. So you're going to see a lot of feel good stuff, especially from Instagram. Because they know they have an issue, because they have internal numbers. They, like I said, the monthly active users, the daily active users, the weekly active users. These numbers are important to the social media apps because it shows a trend of usage. And remember, I said these are not charities, they're businesses. They make money on ads. How do they make money on the ads? Well, you got to be there. They want you watching. If you're not feeling good about Instagram and you're like, man, everything I go to, it sucks, it's bad, it makes me feel bad, I don't want it no more. So delete. They don't want that. So this is one of the things. This is also ties into YouTube and why you can still thumbs down, but they took the number away because it was making people feel bad, especially channel owners. But it's still there now. No one sees it. See, no one sees it, but you can still voice your opinion. It's just that it's not in your face. So that's where social media apps are going, because they had to be tied into the feelings of us. How do we feel about going here and seeing this? It's all about the feeling of us. Instagram is mostly focused on this because they have an issue with younger users. Facebook knows it. They try to hide it. Oh, Facebook went up, but it's because of Marketplace that it went up with Gen Z, because Gen Z is selling stuff. Well, what's the easiest way to sell something locally? And like I said, I don't like to package stuff up and take it to the Gen Z doesn't like that either. How do you do that on Facebook Marketplace? Oh, I can sell my this, that, and the other. Or remember, Whatnot is coming up, but with Whatnot, there's no local in meetup where here's the thing. Like that was Craigslist thing. Like you could sell stuff on Craigslist and, well, here, meet me at so and so. What? Here it is. So that's why Marketplace is such a big thing, especially with the younger generation, is because I don't have to ship it. I don't have to this. I don't have to that. Hey, meet me. Da da da. Here you go. Pay for it. Meet me. Here's your thing. So this is what Meta knows in the background. They want the younger viewers or users, because that's the advertisers want 18 to 24. I'm sorry, they don't want us. Anybody over 24, 34, they don't want. And that's their fault because there's money in the 34 and up crowd. So, like, why are you there? Well, we only want Gen Z. So it's like chasing the dream, chasing the dragon kind of thing of, okay, well, we want the youth instead of focusing on what you got.
Mm-hmm.
And making the best of that boat that you're in versus trying to change and turn into TikTok. Because that's where they're TikTok. So we got to put on our TikTok costume and pretend like we're TikTok to keep the kids around. So, but that's why Instagram is doing this.
Hmm.
And okay, now one more from Facebook. Facebook is only going to store live videos for 30 days. So after 30 days, they're deleted. Previously, all live videos were stored indefinitely.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying all live videos that are currently older than 30 days will be removed from the platform. Before videos are deleted, users will receive a notification and be given 90 days to choose what to do with their old live content. Users can choose to download the videos to their device, transfer them to their cloud storage, or convert content into a new reel. That is important. That part, convert content is a new reel. I'm going to get to that in a minute. That's the real issue here. So Facebook states that these changes will align our storage policies with industry standards and help ensure we are providing the most up-to-date live video experiences for everybody on Facebook. Okay. And Facebook is like, that's it. That's all they're saying. Like, we don't want to hear anything you got to say. This is what's happening. Deal with it. So they're saying that also they're going to say if you need more time to download your old live videos, you can defer deletion for 6 months. I am getting a bunch of phone calls. Okay, that's a nobody. Sorry. No, I don't mean a nobody. Like, that's a non-important call. So users can download their old live videos by selecting the download live video option in the notification they receive about the upcoming deletion, or they can click the transfer live. Hold on, guys. Why is this thing? Okay, stop ringing. All right. So they can users can both download their own old live videos by selecting the download live video option in the notification they receive about the upcoming deletion, or they can click the transfer live video option and then choose their linked storage cloud provider such as Dropbox or Google Drive. So why? And I love the article. It tells me why. They're using this as a way to push reels. Because they're going to give you the option to convert some of these into favorite moments from your live videos and publish them at reels. Because remember what I said about TikTok? Everything is about TikTok. How can we be more TikTok-like? Reels. And Facebook has been leading a push on reels for a while. And I always tell you that I always look at what they're doing and why. Well, if they want reels, give them reels. Because that's going to push people to your page, your profile, whatever your group, whatever's going on in Facebook that you want attention to. And a lot of tools, StreamYard is one. StreamYard? Yeah, I want to say Stream Farm. StreamYard is one. And there are other tools. When you use a live streaming option like this, they will have tools to help you break up your saved videos into 15, 30-second video, which is a reel. So depending on your platform that you're using, look into it or ask them, hey, do you have an option for me to turn my video into, chop it up into reels? Or you could use the script is one. There's a whole bunch. Canva might do it. I know Wave Video might do it. And just your live stream, hey, Facebook's going to get rid of it. Download it off of there. Take it to one of these tools that and even you can get ChatGPT to do it for you if you write the right prompt. You just tell them I want a reel. Take this transcript and you got to get the transcript first, but there's places to get that from, and tell it to chop this up into Reels. What's the best grouping? You know, there's ways to say it. I'm still working on mine, but you can ask it to take this hour video or 30-minute video and say, hey, give me the best section on with Reels, 30 seconds, because I want, you know, and tell it what you want, and it'll say okay, and it says from this timestamp to this timestamp is the 30 seconds you need to cut. So you cut it. Use your editing tool. There's tons of those. CapCut is one. I don't use CapCut, but hey, if you're comfortable with it, there's others. Just take it in there, chop it up, save it, put it as a reel. And I'm not saying do all the fancy stuff. I'm just saying chop the thing up and upload it to Facebook Reels and let it fly. Mm-hmm. And if you do this right, you could have it chopped up and then schedule them in business week. And you can just schedule your reels for the whole week or month or however you want to do it.
Oh, wow.
So Facebook wants some reels, give them the reels, I think. Give them the reels. And then again, they can go on Instagram. They can go on TikTok. They can go to YouTube Shorts. And you don't have to change a thing. Why? Because you're doing the chopping. You're not going to TikTok, doing it inside of TikTok and getting the TikTok watermark, or doing it inside of Reels and getting the water, because each platform doesn't want that watermark.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's embedded in the video. It's not just on the screen. The watermark is embedded in code. So if you do it this way, take your live, download it, do, you know, however you want to do it, hire a college kid, whoever, however you want to do it, chop them up. Those are your little videos. You go to YouTube Shorts and upload. You go to TikTok and you upload. You can upload from TikTok on your desktop. Go to Instagram, upload through the business suite. Boom, boom, boom. You're not spending all day. So it's not a problem. If this is what Facebook wants, give it to them from your live. So if they're not going to let you keep the live, chop it up in the reels. Because that's what they want. They want you to do the live, but they're like, okay, your live, us storing these live streams is costing us money. That's another thing. Storage costs money. So there, and Twitch, but the article mentioned Twitch. Twitch used to keep yours for a while, but then Twitch, I think they went to, you get 2 weeks or whatever, and then it's gone because of storage. So if you're going to live stream, wherever you live stream, make sure you get a downloaded copy. If you do it in StreamYard, wherever, there will be a tool to help you chop it into 30-second bits, or you do it yourself in one of all the tools. Chop it up, bulk download, bulk upload, schedule, and there you go. No worries. Mark's a friend. Yeah, where's Fred? Mark says, my reels are shared on Facebook, even though Facebook won't allow me back into my, because see, listen, they care about the reels. They don't care about the things that we care about. They're like, well, if they want reels, give them reels. It's not a problem. That's what they want to push. So, and I love that Facebook and Meta they will tell you, hey, this is what we want. So instead of complaining, we're just gonna give it. You're just gonna give it to them. Just gonna do it and move on. And that's all I have for you this week. This is social media news updates and news for this week.
All righty then. Oh my goodness.
I think I got everything. Yeah.
And Dr. Tachi is on assignment today.
Okay.
On a shoot. So
we wish her well.
Yeah, we do. And it is February. And the sun's shining where I am, and it's not going to say it's warm, but it is some sunshine. TJ and I were talking on Tuesday about alternative platforms. So TJ, did you ever get a chance to go back into Fanbase?
I did. Did I post something?
Is it still
I
okay?
don't,
I'm
don't
just
remember.
asking before I'm gonna post some stuff on my. I'm gonna take some shorts that I have on YouTube and put them over there and see how they do.
Right,
But
because you don't have to do anything special. Now let me see. I think let me check. I did something after we talked on Tuesday, and again I did. So I said one of my clients, I was gonna put them on Facebook, and I did 2 days ago, and I have nothing, but I don't really care because I don't really care about fan base.
right, but I'm looking for you. What I'm getting at with this whole thing is it is not that easy to discover new people on other platforms. Even with Blue Sky. I'm over on Blue Sky and I'm like, and I don't even see you.
And we talked about this on Tuesday, and I like I just said about what Facebook wants. They want reels and then taking down your lives. Well, guess what? It's not if I'm chopping up little videos, or I've already made something for Instagram, or I've already made something for TikTok, because I will just do one thing and I just mass post it everywhere. Why does everybody have a problem with that? Because they think, oh, I saw it on Instagram, I can't put it on link. Nobody's doing that.
There.
Nobody's doing that. And the way the algorithm works is like on Facebook. If you don't go to Facebook and you come back in, you see something somebody posted 6 days ago. Like I go to Facebook, I think I went this week, and it was like so many happy birthdays, but it was 5 days ago. But I was like, hey, happy birthday, because I'm not there all the time. And then Facebook is going to show me things like that. Same thing with LinkedIn. I go to LinkedIn, there's always something like a week old. So that's what I'm saying to you is like, don't go, well, okay, I can't post it everywhere. I can't post it the exact same thing. Yes, you can. Because it's the way the algorithm serves up the content is something you posted this week. Somebody who doesn't go to LinkedIn, for example, if they go to LinkedIn next week or whenever, LinkedIn says, hey, you missed this. They don't care about dates and timing. Current information, because everything is interest based now. It's not chronological. It's all AI driven. If you tell the platform by an indicator of liking, commenting, sharing that you like this post from this particular person, that is a signal. So the next time you go into that platform, they say, hey, this is something from somebody that you didn't see. This is their latest post. It could be a week. Same thing with YouTube. YouTube is great for this. It will just show you stuff. Because it's like, you showed interest on this travel video, or you showed interest on this. Here's something else from somebody similar, or here's another new video from the same content creator. Are you interested? And if you like it and watch, see, there's all these little indicators. Each platform has different indicators. So your behavior, that's what, friend, we were saying about that Gary Vaynerchuk says you are the algorithm.
Yep, you are.
This is what we mean. You are the algorithm.
Because I'm like, I'm over on Blue Sky, but it's like, it feels like crickets, like I'm walking around in desert. I'm like, where's everybody?
Because Blue Sky is okay. The people that like Blue Sky, yay, good for you. Everybody else not thinking about Blue Sky. I forget to go to it. I have clients and I post on it, but again, like Fran said, it's crickets or whatever. But I'm like, it's like I said, people said they were going to leave Meta. Well, if they were leaving Meta last month or whenever that was, I think it was last month.
Yep.
Then it should have been more activity on Blue Sky. It should have been more activity on LinkedIn. It should have been. I didn't see that.
There should have been more activity on Fanbase too.
They didn't leave.
But over there, I was like, okay,
Because it
fine.
didn't leave. It didn't leave. You say you're leaving Meta. I'm deleting this and I'm leaving. The only people that do that is Gen Z. Gen Z will, like I said, when Instagram knows that Gen Z is deleting because they're unhappy. So they're like, wait a minute, we got to pull back and make this a better experience. And that way they won't leave. Oh, Mark. Okay, I'm sorry, Mark. Let's look at your comments. Mark says another episode of Francine and the two T's comes to a close. Mark says normally it's Francine and the three T's. Oh, Tachi, right. The 3 T's. Then he says, I finally deactivated my Twitter X, even though it's where I had the most followers. I am on Blue Sky, but no one talks to me. LOL. See, that's on I get crickets over there too. And I deleted Twitter I was still using it, but I deleted it because it's like
I'm gonna go look for Mark now.
It's like where do I want to go and spend my time? For me, I'm sorry, it's YouTube. Everything that I read an article today about YouTube, and I saw a video that somebody was saying the same thing I was saying about YouTube because the CEO had he made an announcement last week. Or I think I mentioned last week that YouTube is doing all of these things they're doing little things to shore up YouTube, to position it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw this week, I got to find the article because I was going to look up the data and the numbers. They were saying that out of the streaming services, YouTube has more than Netflix in streaming content. That it was, and I got to find it because I was like, I need to dig into that data. Not Netflix, YouTube.
Uh-huh.
So that got me thinking more and more. Every time I tell you about YouTube, Netflix, you have to pay. Right? Is there any free content on Netflix? It's all behind the gate of you pay, what is it, $19 a month, 21,
yes.
whatever. It's behind a paywall. YouTube's not. You can pay for some YouTube content, but that's on the creator side. Like they could, you have to join the membership, or you have to, because I see a lot of that. That a lot of channels I follow will have free content, and they say, well, for the extra, for the disc, for the plus, for the members only content where we're doing real juicy stuff, pay the membership fee, and there's the join.
Yeah,
but most of the time it's free. So YouTube is free. It's easy to share. It's easy to see a video. There's no gate.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I gotta find this article, and they were saying about YouTube out of it was a pie about, I forgot what it was, but the streaming pie section of the pie, they broke it. I think it was like 21% or something, and they broke out the streaming part, and Netflix was number 2, not number 1. Number 2, YouTube is number 1. I don't know what else to tell everybody. YouTube is free. YouTube is doing things for us, the content creators, to be happy to make more content. YouTube is owned by Google.
Mm-hmm.
It's free. It's the number 1 streaming. See? YouTube is always doing little things to get us to make content.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube has an algorithm that pushes your content. As long as you make content on YouTube, you will be seen. Now, it doesn't in the beginning. Yes, there's nobody watching you. But I'm telling you, you start a channel, give it 30 days, upload good stuff, keep uploading. You got to give it time to grow because the AI algorithm has to find you. It's like catching, like fish. I always say it's like fishing. You got to put the right bait in there, and then you're off to the races. But you got to start. You're going to start with 0. You're going to start with crickets. It's going to feel like an echo chamber. It's going to feel like when you're on Blue Sky and you're posting and nothing's happening. Now, the thing about Blue Sky, I just thought about was like, what kind of algorithm they have. I have not been curious enough to look at it. But definitely, I'm looking at, because every time I go somewhere, YouTube, there's an article telling me about good things about YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are bad things about YouTube because it's social media. It is streaming. There's bad on all sides, but I'm looking at this in a business sense, in a content creator sense, in a creator economy sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, YouTube. There's no gatekeeping. And then there's all the conversation. I remember this a few years ago. Oh, the copyright and YouTube is suppressing your voice. No, it's not. You can make whatever you want on YouTube. You won't be monetized if you do things that advertisers don't want. It's simple.
Right.
If you have a channel that's gory, violent, this and that, well, you need those kind of sponsors. But Disney ain't coming to knock on your door. Nike ain't. Pepsi ain't. None of the advertising has to be family friendly. I'm sorry. You can do whatever you want online.
Mm-hmm.
But you get monetized? No. And that is not free. What was it? Free speech. They were saying like, oh, you're suppressing our free speech. No, you have the right to say whatever you want. You're not going to get monetized. Because that's how the rules work. That's how the rules work.
People put their money where they want.
Where's the money coming from on YouTube? From advertisers. What kind of advertisers? Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Nike, Disney, clothing stores. And what do they all sell? They sell things to families, to single people. They're not. They're not doing any of the negative stuff because that doesn't sell. That drives away people. So that's what I mean about YouTube is there. You can do whatever you want. If you want to make money, now there's certain rules. So you have to follow the rules. So, but that's just my little thing about YouTube. I'm always talking about it because every week I pick up something that tells me YouTube is where the puck is going. And I'm like, when I saw this thing about the streaming numbers, I gotta find the article. I gotta dig it out somewhere. And I was surprised because I said, how is Netflix number 2 and YouTube is number 1? Just things I think about. So this is what's in my mind because I'm thinking, well, Netflix the king of streaming, online streaming?
Not necessarily,
right?
Well, they say.
Right. But look, somebody dug it out and said, wait a minute, YouTube has more of the market share.
Right. Quite as a step. You can get movies on YouTube. You can get stuff. You can get a lot of stuff.
We just talked about earlier podcasts, music.
Yep. You can get audio books over there.
Yeah,
videos, meditation videos, guiding videos, calming videos, flute, sound bowl, anything to make you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there? Is there a gate? Netflix has a gate. Like, gotta pay that money. So these are things to think about. So
anywho, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in with us today. You know, you could have spent your time anywhere with us, but you spent here.
Mark, yes, I think.
Mark said, best of all, you can get 3 to 4 minutes of who on YouTube. Me. Yes, with Mark's 4-minute mark.
Yes.
Go over there and check it out.
Yeah.
And then I like watching I watch his posts, the shorts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the shorts, because I haven't dived into Instagram. I will go over to Instagram sometimes, but it is so cluttered. Is that a word?
Mm-hmm.
That's a word.
Like, okay, YouTube is not cluttered because I can pick where I want to be.
Yeah. And it remembers what you watch.
Exactly. And it'll serve up something, and I can say, no, don't show me any more of this. Mm-hmm. But like Instagram And Facebook is so cluttered over there. It's just stuff flying and you're like, where?
Today I was like, does Facebook have a thumbs? I haven't been on Facebook and I don't remember. Like, do they have a thumbs down?
Not a thumbs down.
You go there and it's like, okay, like Fran said, it's cluttered. You don't want to be there. It's too frazzled. It's too
much. They're doing too much. I was like, okay, I'm going back to YouTube where I can pick what I want when I want.
Exactly.
And literally anything you want. Like I wanted ocean sounds, and they will make it with a black screen. There are people who have made it.
I have those for sleep. You can get them when you want to go to sleep, when you because you don't need the screen, you want the sound. And then I have the I think some channel called Tranquility or something.
Yes,
and they go around to the beaches.
Yes.
And it's just the beach, no people, and it's
and it is tranquility, and the beaches are gorgeous.
Yes, gorgeous beaches from all over the world. And it's just calming and soothing. And I'm like, who's going to say I don't want any of that?
Yeah.
My time on the beach.
So if you haven't already done so, become a part of the Biz Chicks community. You can join Biz Chicks by texting. I think Terry's pushing that button. Yes. Text Biz to 33777 or go to bizchicks.net. Come hang out with us next week. TJ will be here on Tuesday. Terry and I will be here on Monday for coffee talks. And then we have Wednesday, Coach Karen. Thursday, Happy Healthy Habits. And then we're right back here on Friday with the latest and greatest in tech and what is happening. So we are here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. We want you to have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.